So what I want to do is I call it 90-90 breathing. So if you guys have a TheraBand / physio band, or if it's a belt, an iPhone cord, whatever, something that's long enough for you to wrap around yourself, even if it's a heart rate monitor that you just have laying around, or a stretchy pair of pants. Okay, so with this, I want you to take whatever that is, and you're gonna wrap it around your rib cage. So ladies, it's sitting on the bottom of your sports bra here. And then you're gonna take your feet and you're gonna put them up onto a chair or surface, okay? So that your feet are elevated off the ground, your knees are bent at 90 degrees. And what I want you guys to do, looking up toward the ceiling, is you're gonna breathe in for 3 seconds. You're gonna hold for 3 seconds and then breathe out for 6 seconds. Okay, so you're just holding on to the strap that you have wrapped around you. When you guys are breathing in for 3 seconds, think 3 seconds slow. And as you're breathing in, I want you guys to expand your rib cage into that band that's wrapped around you, okay? So think about purposely breathing in to the side of your ribs and into your back, okay? So let's get you guys started here. I think you guys are all set up. Monique, you got a band?
Yeah.
Perfect. So wrap that band around you. Get nice and cozy on the floor. So with this one, guys, you're going to breathe in, 2, 3, pause, 2, 3, and breathe out for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, when you're doing this breath, your mouth is closed. I want you guys to flatten that head. So flatten the back of the head on the floor. Okay, so your neck is nice and long. And go ahead and do that same thing again. Okay, this time I won't count. So I want you to go nice and slow. And again, same thing, expand into that band as you breathe in. Good, and now I want you guys to pay attention to your chest. So you can put one hand on your chest, okay, right on your sternum, put the other hand on your belly, okay, right below the rib cage. So not down toward your pubic bone, but a little bit higher. And now as you're breathing in, I want you to try to focus on breathing into the rib cage where that band is still sitting and into that hand that's sitting on the very bottom of the rib cage, but don't have the hand that's on your chest move, okay? So relax your shoulders, breathe in for 3. Pause. And then out for 6. And again, same thing. And one more time, guys. And then go ahead and rest there. From here, guys, with those knees still at 90-90, I want you to actually take that left ankle over your right knee, okay, and give me a yell if you can't do any of these exercises, if you can't do one of these exercises. So with this one, you're using that foot that's pressing into your chair. You can also spin around and use a wall, okay? You're crossing that left ankle over your right knee, and I want you to think about pressing that left knee away from you guys. So you're pressing your left knee away. So you're in a nice little figure 4 stretch. You should feel a really, what's the word? Effective stretch, maybe is a good word. A nice stretch through piriformis, through glutes. And just remember that breathing throughout our session, okay? So I'm not going to cue the breathing a ton, but I do want you guys to just be aware of whether you're holding your breath or whether you're actually breathing through it. From here, take that knee and pull it up towards your shoulder, up towards your rib cage. So keep that foot pressing in to that chair. And pulling that knee a little bit closer. breathing throughout this movement. This is a nice little glute stretch here. And let's do one more time. Press that knee away from you. So guys, I like that. I call it 3D breathing, okay? Because when you're focusing on that breath coming in and expanding into the rib cage, there's actually muscles that sit in between each of your ribs. Go ahead and pull that knee up towards your armpit. There's actually these little muscles that sit in between your ribs and your diaphragm, which is actually a muscle that we sometimes neglect in training. And so by just practicing that 3 seconds in, pausing for 3, and exhaling, it might be challenging to start, especially if you haven't been doing anything like that. Go ahead and switch other side. But the goal with that is going to be understanding that you still have oxygen, even if you do feel like 3 seconds of breathing in is stressful, or holding for 3 seconds is stressful, or exhaling for 6 seconds feels like you don't have enough oxygen. Your body does have enough oxygen. We just don't train it enough. Okay. So I recommend for you guys, like as part of like a daily routine, even after or before we're done with these sessions, you guys take time to do that 3D breathing. Go ahead and pull that knee up towards your armpit. Guys, when you're doing this, if you're not feeling it a ton, one change you can make is if you take your tailbone and you point your tailbone away from you. Okay, so you're trying to press the back of your pelvis onto the floor. So it's not curling up and that tailbone's not pointing up toward the ceiling. The tailbone's trying to lengthen and press down toward the floor. You're going to get way more stretch through those glutes. Go ahead and do one more time like that, pressing away. Yeah, just breathe through it here, guys. Guys, I was on the table with my massage therapist yesterday, aka she was beating my body up. But luckily we have a safe word, so it's okay. But she made the good point of when you're holding on to so much tension, especially in a massage where you're fighting it, like where they're working with you, quote unquote, working with you or pulverizing you. And you're feeling so much tension and it hurts so bad. And a lot of people are like, yeah, that's good. It's good for me. In reality, you're not getting the benefit of that release work. Go ahead and pull that knee up again. You're not getting the benefit of that release work whenever you are fighting and straining so much. So even when we're doing these stretches, it's the balance of, okay, let's work with it, but challenge it, but also make sure to breathe. And release from there, guys. From here, go ahead and take your Therabands. Let's keep working on the hips a little bit. Come away from whatever you had your feet on. You're going to loop that band around the middle part of your right foot, okay? And you're going to lay right onto the floor, okay? So laying back onto the floor. I tried to wear my brightest pants so you guys could see my legs, but I should have gone with the cherry red. Fine. So guys, that band's going to sit on the middle part of your foot, okay? Right underneath the arch. And what I want you to do with that band is you're going to pull one side down and then let it release and pull the other side down. Okay, so in the air, your foot is tilting from one side, coming down, and then tilting to the other side, coming down. So as you're doing this, that foot's going inverted and then everted or rolling in and out. You're going to start to feel a little bit of a different stretch on either side of that shin, maybe even in your hamstrings as well. Okay, if this is a bit from a mobility standpoint, bend that bottom knee. Okay, you can also bend that bottom knee. That's going to help take some stress off of that back hamstring. And then from here, guys, you're going to take both of the ends of the band into your right hand. Left arm comes out to the side. Okay, and you're going to drop that leg out to the side. So it's your choice here if you want to straighten that left leg out. Okay, if you are straightening the left leg out, I want you to think about pressing that left hip into the floor. Okay, you're pressing that left heel down into the floor, and you're trying to pull up on that band, on that foot, while you're doing this nice little hamstring groin stretch. Okay, if it's too intense, just come a little bit lower, get some slack in the band. Take one more deep breath here, guys. And then from here, you're going to grab the ends of the band in the opposite hand. One palm goes down toward the floor, and you're just going to take a small twist to the other side. Okay, so guys, with this one, I want you to lift that right hip up but I don't want it to just flop over to the other side. Okay, that defeats the purpose of the stretch. So with my right arm down on the ground, I'm just pulling up on that foot while I'm stretching. I'm going to get a really nice little stretch through IT band, through the other side of my hamstring. You guys might even feel that stretch going all the way down to the outside of the foot. Okay, if that's how tight it is, that's what I'm feeling today. I also didn't drink enough water yesterday, so that's on me. I deserve it. Guys, take 2 more breaths here, okay? I want you to think about pressing that right side of your rib cage down into the floor. Okay, so you're keeping that nice square shoulders to the ceiling, and that hip is still doing that tiny rotation. And then guys, from here, go ahead and take that foot back up toward the ceiling. And I want you again to take that same figure 4 stretch we did before. You're going to cross your left ankle over your right knee, and you're going to pull that band nice and close to you. Okay, so you're using the band this time instead of that chair to help you out. I know we already did the stretch, but I just wanted to show you guys this variation. Using the band to help you with this. Okay, it's just a nice little series, nice little stretching series. And as that muscle releases, you can come a little bit farther with the range of motion. So pull it in a little bit closer. Good, and go ahead and release the band. So you're going to take that band off your foot. And if you're good to twist, so especially if you have any bone density problems, don't take the twist. You can just keep holding this stretch. Your arms are going to go down to the side, and you're going to do a little rotation. So that left foot is actually going to go flat onto the floor. Okay, my left shoulder stays on the floor, and I'm using that right knee to keep pushing that foot up. Okay. So in this stretch, we're opening up through the side of the rib cage, maybe into the low back a little bit. And I want you from here, left hand down, right hand on that left knee. You're pulling that knee down toward the floor. So we're getting a really nice little glute stretch. Try to relax the inner thigh. Relax your inner thigh. Just breathe here. And so when you guys are thinking about that breath, especially in some of these twisting movements, as long as you don't have osteoporosis, guys, when you're breathing and twisting, think about breathing into the rib cage, into your belly, okay? Similar to that 3D breath we started with. Because as you breathe in, what happens is the diaphragm is going to pull down, and that shifts all the muscles. It's going to actually help you get a little bit more mobility. I shouldn't say that. It's going to help you get more stretch through that low back and through the front of your torso. And then exhale from there, guys, release. Go ahead and grab that band again, and we're going to do the other side. Guys, I'm not going to lie. Today's mobility session is pretty gentle, mostly because my body feels like I ran it into a wall. So I thought I'd be selfish and I'd take one for the team and have us do this nice hip-focused stretch to start.
Right.
So guys, with that hamstring stretch, you're pulling down on one side and down on the other. It's funny because since I've been coaching that Sunday virtual session, every Monday, Tuesday, I'm so sore I can't even move. And yesterday I woke up and I was like, finally, today's my day. After 1 year of coaching this virtual circuit, today's the day I won't be sore. And then I went for a massage and I had to roll off the table. It was just a little bit more delayed for some reason yesterday. I woke up this morning, I was like, I'm uncomfortable. Okay, noted, I'm still sore. Guys, take that hand out to the side. So that right hand out to the side. Drop that left hand out. You have the ends of the band and both ends of the band in your left hand. And you're trying to feel that really nice stretch to that inner thigh. And remember that breath here, okay? So keep breathing into your rib cage. You can actually feel that increase in tension between the floor and your back when you're doing this, because you should be focusing on driving that breath into the back of the rib cage. And I also want you guys to pay attention to that right hip. Okay, so that right hip's on the floor. We're trying to keep our hip square to the ceiling and our shoulders square to the ceiling in this exercise. One more deep breath. Exhale fully, and then bring that band into the opposite hand, left hand down on the floor, coming cross body. Ooh-wee. So remember that left shoulder presses down into the floor. I want you guys to keep your left rib cage on the floor as well. You got the bands in your hand, and you should feel that really nice stretch coming up across the leg, okay? Oh man, this is a great stretch. Ooh. Nice. You just breathe here, guys. Do 2 more breaths in this position. Oh, man. And then go ahead and come on up from there. I want you guys to cross that right ankle over that left knee. Yep, use the hand to help you if you have to today. That's okay. And you guys, you're using that band to just help you with this stretch, okay? So you shouldn't feel a ton of tension having to pull your knee close to you. Just let the hands do it. Yep, and again with this one, so similar to when we had your feet on that chair, think about pulling your tailbone down toward the floor. So as soon as you start to think about tilting that pelvis and pointing that tailbone down, you're going to get way more opening through the back of that hip. You might get a little more tightness in the front of the groin as well, but you should start to feel a little bit more opened through that hip in the back. One more deep breath in, and then exhaling fully. And then release that band, guys. Let's take that twist. So arms out to the side. Bend that knee. You're going to bring that right foot down to the left. Get that shoulders flat on the floor. Take that nice little twist. You guys have the option here, if it feels good, to pull that left knee down toward the floor. Good. Let's take 2 more deep breaths in this position. And then go ahead and release from there, guys. Ooh. What I want to go into next is we're going to do a little bit of spine mobility because it's good for you. And then I kind of wanted to do some calf. Does anybody have any other requests? No? Okay. Awesome. Let's have you guys go into some spine mobility then, okay? So are you guys all good to twist? So I don't have anyone who has osteoporosis in here. Give me a thumbs up. Good. Okay, awesome. So guys, with this one, let's do a little bit of cat-cow. So hands are underneath the shoulders. And what I want you guys actually to do with this, if you have healthy wrists, and you can, is to actually take those fingertips and you're going to spread them wide and point them towards your knees. Okay, so you can start this one with your fingertips, all of your fingertips touching the floor, and then lean forward and you can see if you can press the back of the hand into the floor. Okay, and then from there, if you go into a little circle going around, I'll show you guys this from the front. So my fingertips are spread super wide. If this is enough stretch for you guys and you really feel it in the muscles in your hands, stay there. But if you can, lean forward and press that hand down fully. Keep spreading the fingertips. I just want to go into little circles here. Okay, I'm not going to lie, guys. One of my good friends, she's a massage therapist, and she does the stretch, and they always tell her no. But we really don't actually take time to stretch through that opposite opening and switch other direction, guys, with that circle. So if this is really tight, gang, do smaller circles or don't do any circles at all. Okay, we spend so much time typing, texting, driving. that we don't really take time to do the opposite movement here. Okay, and then shake out those wrists, do a couple little circles. I just wanted to do that little wrist opener because we don't really ever do it. So palms down on the floor, and let's do a little cat-cow. Okay, so I want you guys to tuck your chin down, press your shoulder blades apart, press your back up toward the ceiling, tuck your tailbone under. Okay, so you're rounding your back up toward the ceiling. From here, guys, let's put a little circle into it. So you're in that cat-cow position. I guess technically this would be the cat portion of it. And you're just going to do a little circle. So going exactly the same with what we just did. Circles with those shoulders coming over the hands. And your choice, guys, here, I like to curl my toes underneath with this one because when I rock back, I actually get a little bit more stretch through that fascia that's underneath my foot. Switch direction, keep tucking that chin, press that back up toward the ceiling. Feel that nice stretch between the shoulder blades. And then go ahead and release from there. Guys, let's take a twist. So I want you to go with that right hand underneath your left shoulder. And see if you can work that shoulder down toward the floor. You can use that left hand to kind of help support, especially if it's feeling very tight. Okay, so if it's feeling incredibly tight, like you can't really get there, if you have, for example, a foam roller, that you can kind of prop that shoulder onto to help you out, that's totally fine. But if you can work it down toward the floor, then that's a great option for you. Okay, from the front, we're just going to get into this position. And your choice, guys, if you want to keep those hips up high, or if you want to sit those hips right back onto your heels. Whatever your body's feeling today, I just want you guys to take 3 deep breaths in this position, okay? With that breath, I want you to breathe in for 2, pause for 2, and then out for 4. One more deep breath. So guys, with this one, that back of the hands pressing into the floor, it lifts that shoulder blade up away from the rib cage. There's all these little muscles that sit underneath the shoulder blade trying to connect it to the rib cage that get a little bit angry, especially after our lower body or upper body day. Go ahead and switch other side, guys. So you're going to slide that left hand underneath your right armpit. Option to reach that right hand long. And also the option to sit your butt back onto your heels, okay? Take one more deep breath here. Exhale fully. And then coming back up onto the hands, let's go into an actual cat-cow flow. And then we're going to add a little sexy dog tail wag. Okay, so with your cat-cow, let's start again by tucking the chin. Arms stay straight during this whole movement, guys. Press the shoulder blades apart from each other. Tuck your tailbone down toward the floor. Okay, then from here, I want you guys to start the movement from here. And you're going to rotate the pelvis first. Drop the belly button down toward the floor. Drop your chest, but keep your arms straight. Look up toward the ceiling. Take a breath in through the nose. And then as you guys exhale, let's do the same thing again. Tuck the chin. Press the shoulder blades apart. I want you guys to almost picture your spine like a slinky. Okay, so we're trying to articulate and rotate that pelvis back into cow. So you're trying to rotate that pelvis, articulate each of those vertebrae independently or individually like a slinky. And then let's go again, same thing, tuck the chin, press that back up toward the floor. You guys, if your back's so tight today, tread lightly with this one, okay? Don't feel like you have to force anything. And then one more time, rotate that pelvis, tilt that belly button down toward the floor. Spread the bottom of the rib cage, looking up. Here, I want you guys to close your mouth. Okay, you can press your bottom jaw into your top jaw. And I want you guys to just breathe in through your nose. Exhale fully, and then guys, let's do that one more time. We're going to add that tail wag, okay? It's a little lateral flexion here. So curl those toes under. I'm pressing up into that cat position, and then I'm going to add a tail wag side to side. Okay, my shoulders stay directly over my hands, and it's just my hips going from one side to the other side. Okay, I'll show you guys from the front. Adding a little tail wag. This can be a slow tail wag. Take your time with it, guys. And then go ahead and rotate, tilt that pelvis, look up toward the ceiling, and add that same tail wag, okay? So the difference is as my belly button's down and I add that little lateral flexion, I'm gonna be stretching a little bit more through the front of my core versus when my back's rounded up, I'm getting a little bit more through along erectors, quadratus lumborum. Go ahead and tuck the chin again, pressing up. And go ahead and do that same tail wag here. It's almost like you're trying to look at the outside of your feet as you're adding that side to side. And then one more time here, tilt that pelvis, looking up. And this time, guys, I actually want you to do that tail wag and see if you can glance at your pinky toe. Pinky toe on each side. Oh man, this is a great stretch, guys. One more time, take a deep breath in here, guys. Expand that rib cage and add that lateral flexion. Feel that increase in stretch and release from there, guys. Shake out your wrists here. Woo, let's spend a little time with that TLC on those calves. The most neglected body part. No, just kidding. We neglect so many parts of our body. We can't even say one part's the most neglected. So options here, guys. If you have a foam roller, a rolling pin, a water bottle that isn't going to shatter. I have this weird little candle thing too that you could also use if you had one. I want you to start with those legs kicked straight out in front of you. So some options here, whether you have your rolling pin or you have your foam roller, they're all great little tools for you. You can go with 2 legs. This is going to decrease the intensity, okay? Or what we'll start with here, guys, I just want to go 1 leg, okay? So 1 leg, and all we're doing is coming down the roller, bending that knee, and coming back up. So the range that we're traveling isn't a ton. Okay, I want to start with that toe, that ankle joint dorsiflex. So pointing that toe up toward the ceiling to start. Okay, just going side to side. You can rotate that foot out, rotate it back up, rotate it inward. And then I want you guys to point that toe forward. And all we're going to do with this one is find a nice little tender spot, and we're just going to rotate that thigh in, point it inward, and then we're going to rotate that thigh out so your kneecap is pointing out. Guys, if this doesn't feel intense enough, you can also cross that ankle over the knee. I'm not going to do it though, because then you're going to see me cry. Oh man, okay, so with this one, you can kind of lean forward into it, whatever body position really works to help you kind of start to feel a little bit, okay? And then either in that same position, or you can kind of reposition that roller, find a different spot. I want you to do some circles with those toes. Okay, so you're circling those toes around. Big, big, big circles. Let the knee move as well, so let that whole thigh rotate. Draw as big of a circle as you can. One more time, big circle around, and then we'll switch and go the opposite way. Oh. So good. Guys, if you hear crackling, it's just me. And guys, let's switch and do the other side, okay? So with this one, we don't have enough time to really like get in there on each of the calves. So I have this new session starting on Thursday mornings at 9:30. It will be recorded. It's with Karen. Karen's a gem. And she takes a full 60 minutes, okay? This session is only 35. So finding any spot that's tight on the calf, rotate that toe to the side, coming back up toward the ceiling, rotating it in. So taking a little bit more time, especially if you guys find that there are spots that have more tightness than others, or especially after you go running, or if you do a long walk, or a Tabata circuit, your calves might be extra tight. Now point that toe, and let's do that same thing. Find a spot that's tight. You're gonna rotate that kneecap out to the side, back to center, and then rotate that knee in as much as you can. Feel that difference in the tension throughout that whole calf region. Whew. So good. Whew. And then guys, let's do some circles. We're gonna go circles, 5 going one way, 5 going the other way. Reposition that roller as needed. And then switch the opposite direction. Oh man, this is tight. Whew. Good work, gang. That is your 35 minutes of mobility and recovery. Okay, I know 35 minutes doesn't really seem like enough time because it's not.